Hey there, Citizen Paler here, and welcome back. It's time for another tour of duty of sorts. This is a tour of duty, but we're covering the variants of the Freelancer. So I've already done a Freelancer video. I will link that in the description down below. Maybe put a tag up here if I remember to do that or whatever. If you want to see my initial opinions on the Freelancer. But to summarize it up, it's a ship that I'm not a huge fan of, but actually a great bargain, especially for solo players. Solo players are people looking to play in groups of 2 or 3. The freelancers, while I prefer the personality of the Drake ships, and I think I would go with more of a Connie, it's hard to argue the dollar per performance of this if you accept the artificial economy of Star Citizen and what a ship costs. These things are definitely very good. And that's going to be a theme that holds true throughout a lot of this for these 3 variants. So this one we're looking at right here, this is the DUR. The Misk DUR, in fact you can see it right there, 15 minutes meters ahead right there, which is the exploration variant for the Freelancers. This brings about some minor outside visual cosmetic changes, with a lot more of it coming inside. So we do have like this little antenna thing up front here for doing antenna things. The guns by default are a little bit different. It doesn't really matter. I mean, these are just the guns on the turret. Somebody just blew up their ship. These are the ones out of Person Dynamics. I forget what they're actually called, but this is one of the newer versions of weapons that have come online. You can buy these over on Hurston right now. Here comes some random person in. We do have exploration fuel tanks here. So you'll see here, these are some larger fuel tanks. This is exactly what these are for, to give you that longer range as you're exploring. We have some missiles underneath here. Everything's mirrored on the other side. As we come inside, be ready for possibly a broken texture. Not broken texture, but a broken render. As we move up in, that'll fix itself. And then if we try and turn around, can't really see anything. So this part back here, all going to look about the same. Not going to be really any different or anything. This is going to, carry through pretty much all of them. There is that turret up there that we could get into. As we move up in this next area, this area here is going to be different for all the Freelancers. So this here is like a fuel processing and some exploration type stuff you'll see. So we got like some equipment on this side. Let me maybe turn the lights on. I don't know what this guy's trying to do. You can't fly my ship, dude. That's fine. But you do have some basic equipment here. So this is chewing up a fair bit of your cargo capacity. So a default Freelancer has 6,600 cargo capacity. This thing has 2,800, 2,600, something along that line, less than half of what the other one does. And a lot of that is this area right here has been added in. As we come further forward, there's a docking collar up there. Can put a little bit of cargo here, and then we move into the hab area, which is going to be the same for all of them. So over here we got like a little bit of like a kitchenette type area, so you have like a microwave, some glasses, towels and stuff. On this side we have like a shower sink area, no toilet it doesn't look like. Little nav computer type thing here. Door outside, that's the side exit, 2 bunks, and then the front cockpit is going to be the exact same as anything as all the other Freelancers going on. Let's just go ahead and we'll turn the lights on. Come on, let me out. Oh, we'll go in the third person while we're in here. So you can see there is a Aquila making love to the back end of our ship, apparently. We have the turret back there. There's the engines. There is a bit of an intake right behind the docking collar there. You'll see. I don't know if that's actually for bringing in fuel and then processing it or whatever. Boy, some pilots. Oh, he's going into the ring. He's going into the ring. Nope, he's stopped. But yeah, there's a little bit of like an intake there that could be for fuel. You see the fuel canister and everything. Not too much to see back there. Go ahead and exit out. Did I end up in the other seat? We'll just hit the exit button rather than trying to do the interactive. Come through here. You can now see it all lit up like that. So yeah, this is the exploration variant. I'm going to do a summary towards the end of it, but basically this part here is what's majorly different. You give up a fair bit of cargo capacity as they add in this extra section here that has the exploration type stuff in it. Let's go ahead and head out the back. There's another Aquila now. There's Aquilas everywhere. Okay, number 2 now. This is the Freelancer Max. And I'm being a little cheeky here because at this angle, it doesn't look much different than a standard Freelancer. Different livery. I kind of like this paint scheme on and everything. We can see here the weapons are different from the previous loadout and everything. But I gave a little bit of a hint away. Check out that landing gear. If you missed it, go back and look at the engines on the previous one, and it'll give you an idea of what this ship really does if you don't know. Come on back here through here. We do have some missiles under the wing, but the big difference, I'm going to be cheeky about my vision again. The cargo bay on that thing's not running. If we turn around here, she's big. This one's significantly larger. This is basically if you took two Freelancers, cut off the left side of one, the right side of the other, and at least for the back end, smash them together. So you do have larger engines, much larger landing raft or loading raft, whatever you got here, landing ramp, but also significantly larger cargo capacity. In fact, close to double. So this has, on the ship matrix, they say 12,200 cargo capacity. Inside the actual, like the terminal inside, they say 12,000. But compare that to a standard Freelancer with 6,600, or the ones we were just looking at, which are like 2,800. So way more cargo capacity. And they did this by pulling out basically everything but that area. So this is where the exploration stuff used to have been. It was in here. There was actually like another wall cut right here. So this was the exploration room, where this thing, rather than 5 compartments, this thing's 4 compartments. So you have the rear cargo compartment, you have the docking collar area, you have the habitation area, which is all the exact same, and then you have the cockpit. So they removed one entire compartment from the ship in order to give it more cargo capacity. This one, in my opinion, is the most appealing of them all. And I said this in the other Freelancer video. I'll explain more as we go on. But basically, you're giving up some utility for more cargo capacity. You can also get probably a fair number of ground vehicles in here. The only question is what clears under this turret here. These little hangs down. But you could probably get 2, maybe even 3 Cyclones in there, a bunch of buggies. I don't think a rover would go in. It's going to hit that and damage the ship or whatever. But you could get like 100 Grey Cats in there. Yeah, little Grey Cats fit in there. Let's go ahead and we will spawn the military variant next. Actually, let's jump in the cockpit quick. We'll do a quick third person of it. Open sesame. Open sesame. Let's stay there. We'll even go out the side door because we never use the side door. Here we are. Third person. Look around. Hey, there's a Vanguard. See another fuel possibly intake area right there. There's like the imports or whatever, the weapons. A much wider stance. This one should still, though, fit through the smallest quantum gates, warp gates, wormholes, however they end up doing the cross solar system travel as we start traveling between the different zones and everything. Hopefully somewhere in 2020 we'll start to see that. She should still fit through those, allowing her to do the most direct transit systems between trade routes, which should be a good advantage. Go ahead and we'll go out the side here and exit ship. Can we actually see it? Kind of. Nope, didn't work. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, side entrance. Okay, let's get the MISC one out here. And here is the MISC version of the Freelancer. This one is the military or combat variant, if you will. Livery-wise, I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I get that like drab greens and everything and browns as proper military attire colors and everything, but I don't think that would really translate into space. I would think more of dark grays and stuff would be, but yeah, it's fine. The side, the miniguns, now I will admit, like while I've been harsh on the miniguns here, 4 size 3 miniguns still do a fair bit of damage. They will tear through shields pretty fast. I still, if I was going to use this ship or whatever, I would swap these out pretty quickly to something else. Landing gear, engines, and all that is back down to normal size. We do have 4 size 3 missiles under each wing, and that's really going to be the name of the game for this ship, missiles. It's a missile boat. Mirrored on the other side, nothing absolutely different. Standard landing ramp compared to the Max. Broken visual texture. Ooh, you can see the missiles up in there. That's kind of cool. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. Yeah. All right. If we come up in here, so back end, same as the default MISC, or the default MISC, the default Freelancer. You do have the turret up there. So this here is going to be, the standard cargo capacity area, whatever you have. You do have the wall, though, that is similar to the DUR. And in the DUR, where you have the exploration, now here we have the missile pylons. So these are like containers holding 2 missiles apiece. So you saw them. There's 4 on each side. And then there were 2 additional missiles. We can't actually see if we come back here. Dude, do not crash into me, please. You can see them over there. So there's, 2, 4. It almost looks like there's a 5th one up there. There's 20 missiles in total inside this area. This is probably the canister opened up in that. There has been, I think, talk where you could also have, like, back here you could have more stores of these missiles, and then after you shoot them, you drag them up here and clamp them in. So there could be more, but like the default loadout is a total of 28 missiles, and you'll see that here as we get up front. So that's kind of the name of fame. This is here. Then we have the same docking collar area, same habitation area, same cockpit. Let's go ahead and climb in. Third person mode. Those missiles actually come out. You'll see there's little doors right there in front of where the scoop used to be in the other models. You now have something completely different. And if I go ahead and power the system on, if I'm fast enough with the camera, power on. Nope, not F1. I missed it. They open up. Let's see. Power off. Let's see, are they closed? There, they're closing. Power on. There we go. You can see them opening up. So that's going to be where the missiles actually deploy out of. The missiles don't seem to work right now. I don't know if it's this ship, all ships. This is the second time recording this, and for the life of me, I could not get a lock-on with missiles. They just wouldn't work. So we won't be able to actually demonstrate that. Let's go ahead. Engine on. Close exterior. And why are we not? I did turn the engines on. There we go. Now we're lifting up. Yeah. Take off. Raise landing gear. And let me find a quick mission we can run out to do, and then I'll do a little bit of chatter here. Let's see. 3780. That'll pay nicely, even though we're going to get wiped with the patch coming up here soon, probably. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Sometimes we got to do this a few times before it shows up. Hello? Hello? Mr. Bounty Contract, where do you want me to go? Let's close the mobiGlas. Oh, didn't raise landing gear. There we go. Landing gear up. Alright, let's check the mobiGlas again. Did I accept the contract? Accepted? It's there. Untrack, retrack. Let's go back in here. Where is it? Why do I have a guideline like it's telling me to go somewhere? Oh, it's trying to take me to Crusader. Hold on a second while I get this thing working. Well, the mission markers don't want to come up, so I guess we're just going to chit-chat for a little bit. I have footage from before I will put over this. There's not a whole lot to really talk or really see. You know, it's an okay gunboat that I can't really use the missiles. And 40 miniguns, while not as effective as they could be if they were for something else, they do sound cool and they are fun. And they're alright. They're just not well balanced right now, but hopefully that will change as things go along. Okay, thoughts overall. I think I've been unfairly harsh to the Freelancer series overall. While I admit they're good value, I don't think I've been placing enough emphasis on the value that they are. No, their design doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a big fan of the design and everything. But if you're someone that wants to, okay, the Max, the Freelancer Max, the one I actually kind of do like. If you're looking at a ship that, one, you can easily handle and run solo, but you want to have room for a couple of friends if they want to tag along and everything. In fact, that's a general rule for the Freelancers. If you're looking for ships that are at a decent price point, accepting the quote-unquote Star Citizen artificial economy, at a decent price point that you can easily operate solo, but have room for upwards of 3-4 friends if you want to. The Freelancers are really, really good for that. The Max is probably going to be the best solo player cargo hauling ship in the game. We have to see the small, the hull A and B series to really evaluate, but even then, the hull A's and hull B's, while they're going to be operational solo, they're not going to be very durable ships. If you get interdicted or whatever, you're not shrugging off attacks for a minute or so until you get out of the interdiction field and can go, right? You're not going to be turning and engaging whatever ship EMP'd you maybe, and fighting it, maybe even destroying it, and then going. You can do that with a Max. You know, the Max has some tankiness to it. While it's not super maneuverable, it does have some firepower plus that tankiness. You have a fighting chance if you're running the Max solo. You probably won't have that in the whole series. If you're in a Caterpillar, which you can fly solo, but if you're in a Caterpillar and someone grabs you, you're not getting away if they want you. You're not fighting them off with a solo person in a Caterpillar. And that's likely to be true with all of the larger ships going on through. And that makes the Max actually a very appealing ship. Likewise, let's look at the Der version. That's the exploration version. If you're looking to explore, you want a ship that you can run solo, but if you have a few friends that want to come along on that exploration, the Der is actually a very viable option. While, yeah, the Connie Aquila does seem to be significantly better, it's also close to twice the price. The Freelancer, don't quote me on this, I looked at the numbers before I recorded this, but that was like an hour ago, but I think the Freelancer Der is like 145, 125? I think it's 125, then the Max is 145, and the one we're currently in, the MISC, is 165. So it's 100, 125, 145, 165, I think. So 125 compared to like 310 for the Aquila. The Aquila is quite an expensive ship. And while the Aquila, yeah, it's a better exploration ship, or at least in theory it's going to be a better exploration ship, is it worth almost 3 times the cost of the Der? Not really. So if you're looking for a good exploration ship with 2 people, there's that. Then you have this one here. This one's a little bit harder to determine, at least in my opinion, mainly because it has to do with the missiles. There was a time where in Star Citizen missiles were super strong. We're at a point now where they're kind of pathetic. They don't really do a whole lot. Yes, you can absolutely kill someone with missiles, but you can pretty easily outrun a missile. Everyone's got countermeasures. A good pilot, as soon as that lock on, as soon as that missile's underway, they're going to drop the chaff or the flare or both to make sure they're safe. And even then, like, if you just, boost, a lot of ships can just straight up outrun a missile for how fast they go. So the missiles just aren't strong right now, which leaves this ship in kind of a questionable position. I could see this ship down the line, depending on how things balance out, being a very good high value trade runner. Say you go down to what's the drug manufacturing site, right? You go out to pick up the drugs. So maybe you pick up 2,000 SCU of a very efficient product, something that's maybe not entirely legal, maybe not illegal, but something that's going to put a big mark on your head. Well, this ship here, depending on how the missiles are balanced out, you could go ahead and run that cargo solo. If you get interdicted, you get pulled out, EMP'd or whatever, you have 28, 40 missiles you can shoot at someone, depending on if you're going to go back and reload them at some point, and you have a fighting chance. So this one does have some possibilities. It just really depends on how the missiles get loaded out later on, or balanced out later on. So yeah, the Freelancer series, they're not bad. They really aren't. In fact, they're quite good. Their design I don't love, but their price per performance, where they fit in for a solo player with a few friends that might jump in from time to time, what they can do, there's a lot of viability in there, especially when the next thing above them that can do similar aspects are the Connies. And outside of the lowest model Connie, which is, the Taurus, I think, they're all way more expensive than any of the Freelancers variants are. So yeah, I think these ships are actually pretty good now. Do I want one? No, not really. No, I really don't. I have these currently available to me because I decided to do the subscription in order to have access to these for the videos and stuff. So that's why I currently have them. You know, I do see a possibility of a Max replacing the Cutlass maybe, but I don't know. That's, you know, the Cutlass just has such personality that I really do like. Though having a ship that you could throw 3 Cyclones in the back of would be pretty cool. Maybe after this we'll go ahead and we'll take one of these down to a planet. We'll see what type of ground vehicles we can jam in the back of it, just for fun. Alright guys, that is the Freelancer variants. Until next time, this has been Paler. Thanks for watching.